Welcome back to Metal Heroes Review, episode number 27. We are discussing the last 5 episodes of Space Sheriff Sharivan. 47 is a standalone episode over a devil's sword. And you might be curious though, does this episode play a role in the finale for this thing? Minorly, yes. You could say 47 is a prelude to the endgame arc, which is basically taking the last few episodes of the series. Mostly it's about two siblings who find a very evil-looking sword. The sister wants to hand it to the police. The brother wants to sell it to basically start a restaurant. Very interesting idea. Apparently it's on the Medora Legends, and this episode also happened to have the last official created demon monster of the whole series. Yep, the last one. And if you're curious though, did they create any more for the last few episodes? Do they have a monster for the last few episodes? They do have one for 48, but that's a rogue Ben monster. The Ben monster is from the previous series. This probably was a leftover monster they probably planned to use, but they basically decided to use it here. Now, is this connected to the organization from the previous series? Not really, no. It's just saying that species is from the last one. Mostly in the case of 48, basically we have this emergency just happened, apparently happened off screen, where Mimi has been kidnapped by a space pirate and Gavin is looking for her. But Gavin doesn't rescue her. Oh, no. Shrivan finds her because he's out of the show. I'm sure the way you can tell, Mimi was kind of disappointed that Gavin, the man she loves, couldn't save her, but Shrivan, a close friend of theirs. And by the way, Gavin is definitely in the episode, and for the first time since the end of the previous series, you actually see him wearing his damn suit. Yes, the Gavin suit. And of course, he will show up again for the finale, and that's it for him this series. Yep. Yep. But in the case of basically like, let's see here. Yeah. And of course also they bring back the Warriors, the organizers in episode 50. Now does 48 bring back anybody aside from Mimi? No, not really. They don't bring back anybody at all. Nope. Yeah. And also, basically, we also have it where, let's have Jared Geiger try to marry Mimi instead of the original plan was to rip her apart and hand her decayed body back to her father. Now, apparently, they want a revenge on him for something. What exactly it is, the commander of the Galactic Police has never reveals this at all. Nope, he never does. Eventually, of course, Mimi does escape before her apparent. She escapes during the wedding ceremony, and yeah, even though she escapes, and Geiger's like wondering like where his bride is because apparently Ryder given the interesting idea of having Geiger marry her in order to basically get a child, and Geiger was so happy to hear that. Oh, I'm gonna get myself a bride. Makes me think also that. Maybe Plotter may have had a thing for him, but it's never explicitly revealed. Nope, not really. Yeah, and also 47. I should point out 47. Which number 47 is the last appearance of the replacement for Miss Demon 1. Because basically they brought back the original one for the last 4 episodes of the series. Don't know why they decided to replace the actors for, but they did. But what about Miss Demon 2? Oh boy, we're going to get to her for episode 50. Then Geyer decides he himself should take the fighting to Sharivan. Also, the Inga Crystal shows up again. And during the course of the episode, the Inga Warriors return. Makia, she returns in episode 49. Sadly, 49 is also the last appearance of General Geyer. Yep, he gets killed off in the episode. Oh yeah, definitely. He gets killed off there. Though 49 has a return of Giant Great King Gormaga. Oh boy. They be like this guy. Who in the next episode eats Miss Devil 2? Yep, she eats her. Well, this creature eats her. Like, apparently he's an ally of Raiders, and Raider himself is killed off for the next episode. Not by Sharivan. Nope. It's actually killed off by the Demon King. And it's revealed that the bald guy who's been seeing all the episodes prior to this is actually part of him. And you're thinking, what? Really? Yes, really. It is one of the most strangest things. Apparently, this actually is Warrior Sakura. Who apparently is somebody who, apparently because he showed up he showed up episode 50 like, oh crap, he's back. So summon Gavin and Commander Kwam to Earth to have the final battle to look for the Demon King's palace. Now you might be curious still about Commander Kwam. He does show up in this one during the last few episodes, yes. So then of course, like, okay, so Geyer got eliminated 49. In 50, the Great King Geyer, Gregor and Ryder got eliminated. So you're thinking, okay. Oh yeah, Miss Demon got eliminated, Miss Demon 2. So who's left? Because they kill off very various people in the course of a couple episodes. So you got the Demon King himself, you have the Mysterious Warrior, you have Dr. Plotter, and Miss Demon 2. Gavin shows up again because he was searching for Mimi back in episode 48, though he does basically reunite with her and basically prepare for the very end. So they prepare to basically fight, of course, the Mysterious Warrior in Vision Space. Then, of course, they summon then we have Gavin summon his mattress motorcycle. Oh, I forgot to mention before I continue. Gavin does bring out his space doll. Again, first time he's used that since the end of Spaceship Gavin. So this one basically also sees a return of a move that he had not seen, that anybody who watched Spaceship Gavin has seen since the end of Spaceship Gavin. I'll get to what it is. It will actually, it's the Gavin dynamic, his signature move. He does finally use again. On who? I'll get that. So they basically beat the warrior and they chase it right into the castle. They basically just teleport right in the castle. And of course, then Dr. Plotter, apparently have the ink crystals just disappear. Dr. Plotter Miss Demon 1 shows up. They briefly fight Gavin and Sarah because you actually have her get stabbed. Then her face transforms or blows. And then she and Miss Demon 2 are eliminated by Gavin. And then, like, okay, so the only people left because the foot soldiers are pretty much all eliminated. Okay, so the foot soldiers are gone. All the generals are gone. So who's left? The Demon King himself and the Mysterious Warrior. So Gavin takes on the Mysterious Warrior, and Sharivan takes on Demon King himself. Oh yeah, and also in episode 49, Mika, who is the leader of the girls who were shifted the planet back in episode 21, she comes back in first in episode 31. She basically comes back here, and she's basically with him for the last few episodes of the series. And it's implied she has a thing for Sharivan. Yes, it's implied, but it's not revealed exactly how deep of a feeling she has for him. Because something happens with Lily, basically at the end of the episode. So, So they take on Demon King. Of course, Shrivan eliminates Demon King, which makes total sense because it's his main bad guy. The Mysterious Warrior, Second Warrior, handled by Gavin. I don't have a really big issue with that because basically he wasn't big of a character anyway. So let's have Gavin kill somebody. Okay, fine. And Demon King's dead. All the bad guys are dead. So, like the previous series, the castle was destroyed. The other case, the last one, they actually, in the case of the Murrah Castle, which was Don Horror's place, they actually had people inside of it. This one, nobody. Like, the place was virtually abandoned. Yeah, because everybody was all been eliminated. So, the Moroku are gone. Completely 100% gone. So, Dan's like, mission accomplished. I can go basically to Inga and rebuild my people. Rebuild my planet. So, he takes the Inga warrior who shows up in the episode, who helps him out to eliminate all the remaining warriors. Then, of course, basically, he promises basically make the place better. And Commander Kwan basically is like, I think he was going to say it, but Commander Kwan's actually going to say, I'm making you, and I'm making you the in charge of playing Inca sector. He's like, okay, sounds cool. And Lily, for some reason, does not go with him to Inga for some reason. And it's also implied she had feelings for him too. It's only hints in this episode she's got feelings for Shrivan. In the previous 50 episodes, there was no hint of the fact that she may have been attracted to him. She probably just saw him as a partner, because of course she's a beautiful woman. Mimi, it was obvious that she had a thing for Gavin. Lily, it wasn't specifically stated or even implied. For Lily, it wasn't the final episode that she decided that we kind of revealed just by her reaction that she may have had a thing for Gavin. She's hoping to see him again, and she never appears in the series ever again. Nope. The final episode is the last time we ever see the actress. No, seriously. She's mentioned in Shrivan, in Snyder, the successor series, where she apparently is an instructor on, well, yeah, it's basically she's become an instructor on Planet Bird. She was mentioned in the next series. Yep. The actress herself, looks like she's still very much alive. There's not much information on the actress played Lily. No, there's basically nothing. But Dan, he pops up in next series. Now, in the case of Gavin, he doesn't pop up in next series. Snyder is episode 44, toward the end of the series, during the last about half a dozen episodes. But you might be thinking, okay. Unlike Gavin appears in 6 episodes, Shrivan appears in 6. You thinking, really? 6? Oh yeah, 6. He only appears in 6 episodes. I mean, his first appearance in that one is also in episode 44, and he appears for mostly up until he basically appears just in 4 episodes. Yep. But in the case of my final thoughts, now, basically, because, they go off, and of course they fly off, and the Ink Crystal merge with these 5 crystals, and of course they remembered, oh yeah, Helen and Billy were Inca warriors, so they show off the thing, and of course it fans a circle, and it sort of guides into the planet Inca. I kind of wish the episode would have lasted about 5 more minutes so they could show the freaking planet what it looks like currently. But no, we would have to wait to see what the planet looks like. I don't know if it shows up in Shrivan. I do think it shows up in the movies that came out in the 2000s. Yes. Anybody thinking, okay, is it time to watch the Next Generation movies yet? No, not yet. Not until I watch the very next series, which I'm reviewing right now. The very next series is going to be Space Sheriff Shedder. But before I end this video, let's get my final thoughts on Space Sheriff Shrivan. It's a damn good series. It had some weak episodes here and there, but really good. Though the series itself felt like a bit of at times like a rehash of Gavin. Like, oh, let's have this mysterious ruler who's like a statue, barely moves. We have that. Let's see. They're in basically this altered space, and of course, the space sheriff doesn't reach the place until the final episode of the series. Okay. You're probably thinking, okay, but what about, let's say, henchmen per se? I would say this one better job basically having henchmen, because if you look at Don Horror's group, aside from, let's say, Hunter Killer and later on his son, not much in the term of basically having an entourage of people like let's say, Dr. Plotter, General Geyer, and Space Raider. Now, here's a fun fact. Did you know that actually Ryder and the Demon King Psycho do return? They do. And you're thinking, where do they return? Kamen X, Super Sentai X, Space Sheriff, Superhero Tension Z. Yes, that is the next official appearance we see of this guy. Oh yeah, definitely. And this definitely be something we'll check out in the future. Definitely, but not right now. Nope. Other good things, basically, I gotta say about these episodes before I end it here. Visually, the show looked really good. It looked very much basically that they put the same amount of money in this series they did in the previous series. I'm like, okay, that's good on their part. Because it looks visually very stunning. It still holds up. Like, the visuals look so good after 40 years. After all this time, it looks really good. Okay. Let's see. I'd say the actor plays Dan. He does a pretty good job. Yeah, so he did a pretty good job. Lily, I kind of felt as though she was a bit useless a lot of the series because she very rarely contributed to the plot. They did bring back the concept of the digger thing from the previous series. Like in the case of the previous series, see early on, then drop them most of the series, and then the show began until the end of the series. Okay. Having a tank, that's from the previous series too. Having a Zord to fight the battle. This something that they didn't do that this one. They basically have the actual spaceship that Sharivan basically is using. Yeah. For action, and of course the battle formation thing I thought was really cool. They did. The by the way, the action finisher with the Shivering Clash. I do like the fact that it's similar looking a bit. The visual they have is similar to you do for Gavin, but Gavin's basically is like his dynamic is like slash like a circle. In the case of Shivering Crash, it's slash straight down, no curve. Which good on his part basically for doing that. Yep. I do think basically having the mysterious bald guy pop up every episode does have a hint like, maybe this guy we explore later. We don't exactly explore what his deal is until like the final, like the penultimate episode, who the heck this guy is. And he's actually just a piece of the Demon King. Or apparently he can actually, well, how should I put this? He actually can, well, he can recharge himself thanks to having this thing. Oh yeah, definitely. He can recharge himself. And not much else. Yeah, so it's like, oh yeah, let's have bonus points for this character. Yep. Not much else to say. But next thing I'll discuss before I get the Spaceship Schneider, which will be the next Metal Hero series discuss, which that won't happen for a little while because the next series we're going to cover is going to be Geki Ranger. I'm going to discuss that first. Then, of course, right afterwards, I'm going to reveal right now, be Kamen Rider Super 1. And afterwards, basically, when the Super Sentai, we're going to not reveal what that is until after I finish up Geki Ranger. You'll actually be a little bit surprised exactly which one I choose. Okay? Next video. Next video will probably be Baruch if I get time to tonight. Next video. Bye.